Hi, it's Kiffin Lobates here, and today I want to talk about privacy, anonymity, and minimalization. So let's start with the last one. Minimalization is the idea that when you are needing to prove something in the identity space to somebody else, only the minimum amount of data that is needed to provide that proof is actually handed over to the person requesting the verification. So an example of that would be if you were trying to buy some goods that was restricted to people over the age of 18, you would use the identity system to prove that you're over 18 without actually revealing the fact that you are maybe 25 or 65. So it's making sure that the minimum amount of data is leaked out of the system. Then the next thing is the idea of privacy, and we all have some kind of sense of what privacy is. It's not letting the world know everything about us. In the blockchain and cryptography world, when we're looking at privacy, we're talking about being able to transact without, again, revealing everything. So it does sort of tie into minimalization. For example, there are privacy coins out there where you can transfer coins to another party without the address that the coins are coming from being revealed, or the balance that you actually hold being revealed either. And this is kind of important and doesn't exist in Bitcoin, because, for example, if I transfer one Bitcoin to you from one of my Bitcoin addresses, you now have a lower bound on how much coin I hold. You can go and look at that address, and if there's another 49 Bitcoins there, then you know that I have at least that amount. So when it comes to privacy, it's about not revealing stuff that really isn't necessary for the other party. And then finally, with anonymity, we have again the situation in privacy coins where your address can be either hidden or maybe hidden in a group. There are these things called ring signatures, where you know that it came from one of a number of people, but you can't pinpoint which one, which means you can't go and then pin blame on them. Now, there is pressure from certain parties to remove these things of privacy and anonymity, and we have a lot less privacy than people 100 or 200 years had ago. I find the lack of concern that a lot of people have for privacy a little bit worrying. And in particular, there are certain groups calling for the reduction of it even more. For example, Interpol has said that they would like strong cryptography to be banned so that they can improve their record on tracking criminals and terrorists. And similarly, there are plenty of politicians who come out with trite statements such as, well, if you have nothing to hide, then you have nothing to fear. I can't help noticing that there are plenty of cases of such politicians suddenly having sordid details about their past unearthed and made public by investigative journals. But what it boils down to is you may have something that you do not want the world or particular people to know, even though there's nothing particularly wrong with it. If you're wondering where I am, well, I'm walking around the Urjala churchyard, and Urjala is the birthplace of the Finnish author Väinö Linna. Now, I'll leave it to the viewer to work out what the significant connection is here. Bye for now.